Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. I want to first start out by giving infinite praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Makakwadash. Double honor to my apostles and elders, a great millstone that rule well, and peace and salutations to the elect men pushing out this word in truth and sincerity. This is your brother Yakanan from the DC Church, and the topic I wanted to touch on had to do with this, was inspired by this photo that I got right here. And it says, what is premeditated ignorance? You know, and it says premeditated ignorance is the quality or condition of deliberate unawareness. So basically, the premeditated ignorance is the quality of having deliberate unawareness. Is being purposely unaware. And that really goes into the state that a lot of our people are in. Starting on from Judah all the way down to Issachar. A lot of the people that a lot of the people that have knowledge of this word, that have seen brothers outside, that have seen this word being spread across the four winds, across the four corners of the earth. Some of them even knowing the names Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. A lot of those men and women have premeditated ignorance. It's not that they don't. It's not that they don't. It's not that they don't see what's going on. It's that they don't want to see what's going on. They purposely put themselves in a position to where they can feign ignorance. Basically claim that they were ignorant to the things that were going on and the things that Yahweh Ba'ashim, the standard that Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai has set for his people. Now let me read it again. It says premeditated ignorance is the quality or condition of deliberate unawareness. Purposely being unaware. It is when people do not know because they do not want to know. It's not even because they can't find this truth. It's not because it's not available to them. They just don't want to know. It's what do they call that? What's it called? Ignorance is bliss. They want to be. They don't want their beliefs challenged. They don't want to be. They don't want to put themselves in a position to where if they get a certain amount of information and it makes sense through the scriptures that they have to change their life. They don't want to put themselves in a position to where they have to change. So they don't want to know. They want to put themselves in a position to where they can feign ignorance. I don't want to know, I don't know. I don't want to know what you guys are talking about. It's not even because they don't even think it's they don't think it could be true. They some of them believe that there's a chance that a lot of the things that we're saying could be has a possibility of happening. Like, for example, World War III. You talk to most people about World War III. What would they say? Yeah, I could see that coming down. But what are they going to when you ask them what is their answer and solution, to go through those times? They're not concerned with that. They just want to stay in their own little world, And that's basically the same thing as being deliberate, as premeditated ignorance, And it's And continuing on, it says It says it is when people do not know because they do not want to know. For if they did know, they would have to take responsibility for the knowledge. So if they did know, if they did know the things of these scriptures, if they did know that it talks about World War III in these scriptures, if they did know that so-called Jesus Christ, his name is not Jesus Christ, his name is Yahweh Shai, and he's a black man from the tribe, and he's a so-called black man from the tribe of Judah. If they did know that there's going to be a time of Jacob's trouble where there's going to be famine, pestilence, death, and destruction, if they did know that that America is going to be done away with by thermonuclear missiles, then they would have to be responsible for that knowledge. You dump all this knowledge onto them. Now they're responsible for it. Now they have to find the answer on how they're going to get saved up out of it. And of course it can't be by their own might, but they also don't want to be. They also don't want it to be through Yahweh or Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, because they know that comes with with a lifestyle change. They know that they're going to have to sacrifice for the Lord, and they don't want to do that. So they deliberately put themselves in a position to where they can feign ignorance, so they can happily live their so-called happily live their life, not worrying about the things that the scripture is speaking of. And it says, for if they did know, they would have to take responsibility for the knowledge, and they would thereby be required to renegotiate their identity. So they would have to be put in a position to renegotiate our identity. Our identities have already been negotiated. We're not the same men in the world. We were born anew. Those people don't want to be born again. Those people don't want to live a different lifestyle. They don't want to negotiate their identity. They want to stay the same people that they were in the world. And that's meant to be. That's the characteristic of a 2/3. It says renegotiate their identity and to relinquish the status, privilege, and authority. So they would have to relinquish all the things that they have in this world, which we already did, which we already did, we already relinquished all our possessions and attachments in this world, and what's it called? We put all our faith and trust in Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. We relinquished our status. We relinquished our privilege and our authority in this world, and we just left it all the way up to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, because we're responsible for the knowledge that we have gained through this ministry. We are taking accountability for the knowledge that we have, and if we did, and if we don't do the things, that the scripture is speaking of, then we're responsible. We're going to get that. We're going to be responsible for the consequences. We're going to be responsible for the consequences, and we're going to feel the wrath. And we're going to feel the wrath of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. The scriptures even says if they did, the end of them that do know is even worse. It says that are derived from the false order of knowledge. At the very least, they would have to be compelled to leave their comfort zone. At the very least, your comfort zone and your belief system is challenged. And there's always going to be something in the back of your mind telling you, hey, I know this. What should I do? And people don't want that. People want to be blissfully ignorant. They want to not know and live not knowing. So they're not responsible for knowing until something happens. And I had a few scriptures lined up that just goes right into it. How our people are premeditatedly ignorant. Or how our people have premeditated ignorance. I'm going to start off by Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 9. It says that this is a rebellious people, lying children that would not hear the law of the Lord. And these are the children of Israel. These are the children of Israel that is being spoken of. Our people are rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear it. They do not want to know. They premeditatedly are ignorant to the law of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. And we see that every week when these people walk up and down the highways and byways, while we're on the edges. These people don't want to hear. They're a rebellious people, especially when we're telling them that, hey, look, you are the people of these scriptures. That should resonate with a lot of them. They don't want to hear it. They want to be ignorant to that fact. Verse 10, it says, which say to the seers, see not. They say to us, the seers, which are the prophets, see not. Don't prophesy unto us. We don't want to hear that. Don't say nothing. We want to stay knowing the same thing that we know. We don't want to hear about the death and destruction. We don't want to hear about the prophecies. We don't want to hear about none of that, because if we did know, we'd be responsible for knowing. It says, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, Speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. So not only are they telling us, hey, don't say anything about the prophecies that's going to happen unto America. They're saying, you know what? Rather prophesy and say it to us smooth things that fit, that go in line into what we already doing right now. And that's basically what it is, because the smooth things are things that are already aligned with their beliefs and the lifestyles that they live, you know? And that's how they can stay in an ignorant mindset and in a mindset to where their identity is not challenged, or where they don't have to change their identity or renegotiate their identity, you know? Because the smooth things that they want us to speak are things that already align with their identity, you know? This is the perfect scripture to go about how our people are premeditatedly ignorant. You know, they see the things that we're speaking. They see they see the signs. They see the things that we're speaking of. You know, through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. They walk past this every week, but they don't want to hear, because they don't want to be responsible for the knowledge that we're preaching. You know, and the ones that think that they think that what's it called, and a majority of people can't debate with us. You know, there is no they what's it called, they can't refute the things that we're speaking of through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You know, they can't confound us. So what do? They ignore us. You know, there's a reason why you don't see that many people coming up to the camps anymore and so-called debating. And it's because these people for the most part know that they can't confound us. So what do? They ignore us, because they don't want to be responsible for for the information that we bring out, and the scriptures that we bring out, and the prophecies that we bring out. And nothing that we're speaking of is to their benefit, so to speak, in their mind, you know. But through the Spirit and Yahweh Shem Yahushua, everything that we're saying to them is love. You know, what does the scripture say? Love is the passing of knowledge. We're passing the knowledge of the things that are going to come to America, you know, and the destruction that's going to happen to this place, whether they hear or forbear, you know. Now, I'm going to grab another scripture. What else do I got? I got Galatians. This Galatians chapter 4 and verse 16. It says, "Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth?" And this is what's it called? And this is a question. You know, have I become your enemy because I tell you the truth? And a lot this is the question to the ones that are deliberately ignorant. You know, have I become your enemy because I tell you the truth? We're only telling the truth. You know, we're only telling them the truth through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and these words are going to come to pass. You know, Isaiah chapter 55. What's it called? Let me get that real quick. It's Isaiah chapter 55 and verse 10. It says, For as rain cometh down and the snow from heaven, and returneth not thither, but watereth the earth, and maketh forth and bud, and give seed to the sower and bread to the eater, so shall my word that go forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but shall accomplish which I please, and prosper to the thing into the thing whereunto I sent it. You know, so these things are going to happen. You know, have I become your enemy because I tell you the truth? You know, these things are the truth. These words are not our words. They come straight from Yahweh Shem Yahushua. They're divinely inspired by Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You know, so have I become your enemy because I told you these words? And the answer is not. I'm not your enemy. But the world has made themselves an enemy unto Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and that's exactly why they're going to be judged of it. You know, and that's why judgment is going to start in the house of Israel. Because those are the ones that were given the laws, statutes, and the law, statutes, commandments, and promises. You know, and everything that we're speaking of through what's it called? Everything that we're speaking of is the truth, and it's meant to save these people, but these people look at it as a threat unto the lifestyle that they're living, you know. But the word is not going to come unto him void, and just because, and what's it called? And the unbelief in these words does not make the scriptures go without effect. These words are going to happen whether you like it, believe it or not. You know. I'm gonna grab another scripture. This is Matthew 13 and 57. It says, and they were what's it called? And they were offended in him. But Yahushua said unto him, a prophet is not without honor, save his own country and his own house. His prophet is not without honor. It's an honorable thing to be a prophet. It's an honorable thing to be what's it called? To be divine, to get inspired, and compelled to go speak the words that Yahweh Shem Yahushua has set forth. But save his own what? Save his own country and his own house. But a prophet is not well received in those places. He's not well received in his country or in his own house. They look at you as like you're crazy, and we become their enemy. We become public enemy number one unto our people. Our people look at us as if we are a threat to their what's it called, a threat to their livelihood, and it's the contrary. We're giving them a chance at being able to claim their crown and get salvation, but they did not hear. And Yahweh Shem Yahushua is giving that stretch forth hand, and they're refusing it. They're refusing it. And by ways of that deliberate ignorance that they what's it called, that they've committed themselves to be in. Now I'm gonna grab another scripture. This is Luke chapter 6 and verse 22. It says, blessed are ye when men shall hate you, and when they shall separate you from their company, and when they shall reproach you and cast out your name as evil for the Son of Man's sake. Rejoice in that day and leap for joy, and behold, your reward is great in heaven. For in like manner did their fathers unto the prophets. So hey, we accept that. Save his own house and his own country. We accept the fact that we are going to be removed from a lot of these people's company. They won't listen to us. What's it called? They'll walk by, they'll scoff, they won't say anything. They won't hearken unto the word of the Lord. We're blessed. We're blessed. Because we know that much more, that what we're doing is the right thing. And it's the right doctrine. It's the right and it's the truth. This is a prophecy that was going to happen unto the prophets. What's it called? On this go around, and we see it happening every time we go onto the highways and byways. We see those looks, we hear the scoffing, and we feel we feel the deliberate ignorance. The people that aren't going to hear because they don't want to hear. And in order to do that, they have to do these things. They have to hate you. They're going to separate you. They're going to isolate you. They're going to alienate you. That's a word that came up last time we were at camp. Nights at what's it called? Nights at Yahweh camp in DC. The garage said we what's it called? We were going to get alienated. And that's exactly what's happening right now. We're getting alienated. Our people are separating us from their company. And they're giving us as a reproach, and we're casting out our names as evil. But the thing is that we're coming in the namesake of Yahweh Shai. So really what they're doing is doing all that to Yahweh Shai, you know? And it says, rejoice in that day and leap for joy. You know, that because that's how great it is. Because behold, your reward is great in heaven. You know, what's it called? When the new heaven and the new earth is established, you know, and we get that right, we get that righteous reward, it's all going to be worth it, you know. And we're not, and just because people aren't hearkening, just because people aren't listening, does not mean that the word is going to return unto Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai void. It doesn't mean that what's it called? It's not going to make the words of the scriptures without effect. You know, God forbid. You know, the reward that we're going to get for doing this is going to be great. You know, and we're going to get a prophet's reward. Now, let me grab another scripture. This is 2 Timothy 4 and 2. It says, preach the word and be instant, in season and out of season, reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. So we have to do this, and we have to suffer, and we have to long suffer while we're doing this. We have to be patient, you know. We have to do this all the way up into the end, into the bitter end. We have to be long suffering unto the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and our brethren that are meant to get this truth. You know, and in order to do that, we have to preach this word in season, out of season, and reprove and rebuke and exhort. We have to do all these things. All these things are a combination of what makes the body of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. You know, and it says, for the time will come when they will not endorse sound doctrine. So this is the time that we're living in right now. They're not going to endorse sound doctrine. They're listening to the doctrines of devils right now. They're listening to themselves. They're listening to their flesh. What are these people doing? They're deliberately being ignorant and and they're not enduring that sound doctrine. They don't want to hear it. You know, they will not endure it. They won't hear it. You know, they're making themselves deliberately ignorant to it so they don't have to be responsible for what comes afterwards. But they will be, you know. The blood is being washed off of our hands. You know, we are being set as those watchmen, and we're blowing the trumpet right now. You know, we're blowing that trumpet right now. And for the ones that are deliberately, you know, covering their ears, so to speak, they're still going to be judged, you know, because we still blew that trumpet, you know, for all the people to hear. Now, it says, for the time that will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but but after their own lust shall heap to themselves teachers having itching ears, you know. So they have their own teachers. They're not being given teachers to according to the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. They're what's it called? They heaping them to themselves teachers having itching ears. You know, these people aren't enduring sound doctrine. They want to hear the things that they want to hear, and they're deliberately being ignorant. You know, and a lot of these false prophets, a lot of these false teachers are going to tell them exactly what they want to hear. You know, and in their minds, you know, the scriptures say it's there's a generation that are pure in their own minds, but are evil, you know, roughly paraphrasing, you know. So in their minds, they think what they're doing is righteous and pure, but really what they're doing is wicked, you know, because they what's it called? They're not enduring the sound doctrine. They're listening to the doctrines of devils. Now it says, and will turn away their ears from the truth. They're turning. What are they doing? They're turning their ears away from the truth. They're deliberately being ignorant. What does it say? It says it is when people do not know because it is when people do not know because they do not want to know. For if they did know, they would have to take responsibility for the knowledge, and they would thereby thereby be required to renegotiate their identity to relinquish status, privilege, and authority that are derived from the false order of knowledge. At the very least, they would be compelled to leave their comfort zone. So what did they do? What are they doing in turn? It says they would turn away. They would turn their ears away from the truth. They're turning their ears away from the truth. They're deliberately being ignorant. It says as a condition of deliberate unawareness. So they're turning their ears away from that truth. They're deliberately being unaware, and shall be turned unto fables. Like the scripture said, preach unto us smooth things. These people not only just want to not hear the truth, but they want to hear lies. And that's why they're heaping teachers unto themselves. That's why they're heaping teachers unto themselves, having itching ears. They want to hear exactly what aligns with what they already believe, but they don't want to hear sound doctrine. They don't want to hear the truth. But they will still be responsible. What's it called? In the time of judgment. It says, but yeah, that was pretty much it. That was pretty much it on that bit. I'm gonna get one more scripture and I'm gonna close out. This is Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. It says, cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet. We're lifting up that voice as a trumpet. We're blowing the trumpet. We're blowing that trumpet in where? We're blowing that trumpet in Zion, right? And for all the people, for all our people to hear, from Judah all the way down to Issachar, we're blowing that trumpet. We're crying aloud and we're sparing not, which means we're not biting our tongue. We're telling it as it is, Lift up thy voice as a trumpet. We're sounding that alarm. And shew my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins. We're letting our people know the way they transgress the Lord and what they need to do to get right and get back into the fold. But for the ones that don't hear, they're going to be judged. They're going to get judged, and they won't have anything to cover their sins. Because when there was a time for you to get right, they refused. When there was a time for them to get right, when there was a time for them to turn back into the Lord, they rejected him. So the Lord will reject. So the Lord will reject them. Actually, I'm gonna just get something quick in Proverbs chapter 1. It's Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 24. It says, because I have called and refused, I have stretched from my hand and no man regarded, but ye have sat not at all my counsel. They have sat not at all this counsel. We're giving the counsel right now. We're giving the prophecies, the counsel, the understanding, the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, but they have sat not at them, and with none of my reproof, I will also laugh at your calamity and mock when your fear cometh. For when your fear cometh as a desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, and distress and anguish shall come upon you, they shall call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. For that they hated knowledge. They hated the knowledge. They wanted to be deliberately ignorant, and did not choose the fear of the Lord. So you chose to be deliberately ignorant. And this is a choice, by the way. They chose to be this way. When you get it right here, it says, for if they didn't know, they would have to take responsibility for the knowledge, and they would thereby be required to negotiate their identity. So they chose not to. It's for it is when people do not know because they do not want to know. So this is a choice. And what does it say? It says, I will also laugh when your calamity, and I will mock when your fear cometh. For when your fear cometh as a desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish shall come upon you, then they shall call upon me, but I will not answer, and they shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. For that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord. So they hated knowledge. They chose to be deliberately ignorant because they would have to be responsible for the knowledge, and they did not choose the fear of the Lord. They chose not to fear the Lord and chose to heap unto themselves, their own doctrine, their own understanding, their own knowledge, and did not choose to fear the Lord. So that's why when that time comes, the time of the Lord's judgment, the Lord will laugh at your calamity and will watch you get destroyed, and it's because of what you chose, And that was just that was just the lesson on the premeditated ignorance that our people show. Lord's will, this video was edifying. And until next time, hey, I want to say shalom. Call all Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Double honor to my apostles and elders that rule well, and great millstone, and peace of citations to the elect men pushing out this word in truth and sincerity. Until next time, I want to say shalom.